nephron. This consists of two parts. The interior part here is a network of capillaries. What do we call that? Capillaries. Glomerulus or glomerular capillaries, okay? And surrounded is a collecting chamber. We see part of it here. What is that? That's the bolus capsule, the glomerular capsule, okay? This is where the first phase of urine formation occurs. This is glomerular filtration. That's when the fluid crosses the walls of glomerular capillaries. It's collected here in the bolus capsule, and then goes to the rest of the nephron, okay? Again, all of the nephron, with the exception of one part, is found in the cortex. What's the part that extends into the medulla? What part of the nephron? Loop of Henle, okay, part of the loop of Henle. Everything else, the corpuscle, proximal convoluted tubule, distal convoluted tubule, and actually part of the loop of Henle is in the cortex. But again, the factors you're looking for when you're looking at a section through the kidney is whether or not you have renal corpuscles present. If they're present, you know you're in the cortex. If they're not present, you've got a bunch of parallel tubes, you're probably in the medulla. Okay, so you should be able to distinguish. I'm not going to ask you to distinguish between the different tubes here, but I want you to know what they are. With this exception, okay, what's the tube that connects the bolus capsule? Here it's cut in longitudinal section, so you can see it quite clearly coming off the bolus capsule. What is this? Proximal convoluted tubule. Okay, otherwise you're going to see them usually at cross section. You can't tell them apart, but I'm not going to ask you to do so. But I could say, okay, what parts of the nephron would you expect to see in the cortex? So your answer should be, without kind of like blood vessels. What tubes would you see here? What parts of nephron, besides the renal corpuscle, would you see in the cortex?
Proximal and distal convoluted tubule.
Proximal convoluted tubule, distal convoluted tubule, and part of the loop of Henle. Okay? What tubes would you expect to see in the cortex that are not part of the nephron and not blood vessels? Collecting ducts, yes. Remember, collecting ducts collect the urine from the distal convoluted tubules. Okay? We have another capillary network in the cortex. What is that? Besides the glomerulus. What are those capillaries called? That surround the renal tubule in the cortex. Paratubular capillaries, right. Para means around. So literally, the capillaries around the renal tubule in the cortex. Blood is fed to those capillaries by what blood vessel? What blood vessel feeds blood into paratubular capillaries? Efferent arterial. It's the same blood vessel that drains the glomerulus. What blood vessel feeds blood into the glomerular capillaries? The efferent afferent arterial. Okay? Now, as I said, you need to know the blood flow through the kidney. They will trace it from the down aorta coming off the renal artery back to the inferior vena cava via the renal vein. It's there on your objective sheet. Make sure you do that trace of the blood and also waste products from blood to the outside of the body. Okay, here you can see a bunch of parallel tubes, little renal corpuscles. You're in the medulla. Okay? Again, I'm not going to ask you to distinguish among these different tubes, but I want you to know what they are. So, what part of the nephron is expected to see in the medulla? Part of the nephron. What? Loops of Henle, okay? Especially loops of Henle of what type of nephron? What are the ones that have a real long loop of Henle, most of which is in the medulla? Juxtamedullary nephrons, okay? And what's the function of the loop of Henle? Simply put, what does it do? What? Talk about that in lecture in some detail. Concentrate the urine. Okay, this is where most of the water is removed from the nephron. What other tubes would you expect to see in the medulla that are not part of the nephron, not counting blood vessels again? What takes up the urine from the cortex and takes it down in the medulla? What tube? Collecting duct. And they converge with other collecting ducts to form what? Papillary duct. So we'd expect to see parts of lupus of Henle in the medulla, which is part of the nephron. We'd also expect to see collecting ducts and papillary ducts in the medulla. Those two are not part of the nephron. We got a capillary network here too, around the lip of Henle. What are those capillaries called? Vasa recta. And what blood vessel supplies blood to the vasa recta? Efferent arteriole here. So efferent arterioles can supply either the peritubular capillaries, or in the cortex, or the vasa recta, which surrounds the loop of Henle. Okay? Again, this is where you have a lot of exchange, remember? That first process of urine formation, glomerular filtration, is very non-selective. The only selective feature of glomerular filtration is what? What determines what passes the walls of those glomerular capillaries into the bone steps? Molecular size. The molecule is small enough, it's going to cross. And a lot of things that are small molecules, the body is not going to lose, like glucose, amino acids, many ions, and of course what? Most of the water. That has to be reclaimed. So the reclamation then has to occur along the walls of the tubule. And most of the water reclamation